In this video, I'm going to show you the most asked Farmfoods interview questions and help you plan really great answers that will get you the job. So let's start with a question that's asked very commonly, which is how would you manage a rude and difficult customer in the store? And I'm going to take you through a step-by-step answer of all the keywords that you need to use. So the first word you use is de-escalate. So you say, I'm going to de-escalate the situation. That means to calm everything down, take control of the situation and not make it worse. The next thing you say is that you would look to identify the issue. So you've got a rude and difficult customer. You need to understand what is it that's gone wrong? Why are they being rude? Why are they being difficult? Because without understanding the issue, it's going to be very hard to resolve it and calm the situation down. The next thing you reassure them of is that you're going to at all times follow Farmfoods policies. The next thing you say is that you would ensure that you safeguard customers and colleagues. So if there is a serious safety issue, you're going to have to take the appropriate action to keep people safe. That is where customers become highly unregulated. The next thing you do is you relate to your past experience. So if you worked in customer service roles in the past, you can say something along the lines of, that you've dealt with this in the past and you know what you're doing, you have lots of experience of this, and mention your previous roles. And so a good phrase you can use is, I'm confident in calmly managing all customers. If they're difficult, not difficult, I can deal with everybody. That is what you want to reassure them of. The next question is, what do you know about Farmfoods? You definitely should not be going to an interview without having researched the company. So I'm going to give you some key facts that you can take to your interview and mention to show off the knowledge. So if you can show that you've done some research, you will look a lot better. So the first thing you can do is refer to it as a Scottish family business. It is a family-controlled company at the moment, and it was founded as such. It was founded in Aberdeen, and it started life in 1954 as a meat processing business and then developed into the retailer that we know today in the 1970s. They are, of course, a frozen food specialist. That is the phrase that you want to use to describe them. And they sell basic grocery, chilled and fruit and veg. That's what they do, with a focus on frozen foods. The slogan that they have adopted for a long time is that it is fresh as the day they were frozen. So it comes straight from the farm, fresh, and then gets frozen very, very quickly to remain and lock in that freshness. The next thing you want to mention is that they've got a quality brand selection. So they have all their frozen foods supported with really good, well-known brands that people love. And then they try to offer outstanding value for money. And then you can also mention one of the things that is part of their corporate philosophy is that they have trust in our people. So they don't have long, complicated, endless policies that people who work at the store have an ability to use their own common sense and their best judgment, because the company has trust in our people. And you can remember that and mention that when you're asked about the company. The next question that they often ask is, how will you get to work? And people often give bad answers to this. What they're really looking for is reassurance that you're going to be on time. And if you start making excuses about being late before you've even got the job, you're unlikely to get it. So the key that they want to hear is they want to hear you say that you're always going to be on time, that is important to you, that you'll leave early, and that you have a plan B if something goes wrong. So a really great answer would look something like this. I'm confident that I can get to work on time. I plan to get to work by, and then whatever method you're actually going to use, because if you lie in your interview and then you start traveling to work a different way, that's not a great way to start your new job. You should say this takes and tell them how long it will take you to get there. And I always leave early, so you're very confident that if something goes wrong, you'll still be there on time. And then if there was an issue with that mode of transport, you've got a plan B. So if you're taking a certain mode of transport and it could break down, so say, for example, you've got one car, you say, if something went wrong with the car, I could easily still get in with walking, cycling, or I've got lots of friends and family that would be able to help me get in and make sure that I get to work on time. So I have very reliable transport and I will be on time. That is what they want to hear. The next question is, tell me about yourself. And this is a very, very common question. They may ask it in several different ways. Tell me about you. Let me know a little bit about your experience. Tell me about your experience. Lots of different things they could ask. So I would plan out an answer to tell me about yourself that is covering everything. So if you get hit with any of the variations, you've got something ready to go. And if you're going to write out one question, this is one to do. So the things you should be talking about is your experience, your skills, and what you're looking for in the future. So I'm going to give you lots of suggestions, and you should use this to write out an answer to it. So the first thing you focus on is retail experience. Tell them lots about your retail experience. If you have it, that is your best experience. Then wider experience. So every job that you had should be mentioned, and then you should say what you actually learned from those jobs and how it matches with working at Farm Foods. If you've had customer facing roles, using the phrase customer facing experience and telling them the roles that you've done actually working with customers is really important. And then any relevant qualifications you have, it's good to mention those and show it off. Your skills, say that you have great customer service skills, and if you can back it up with experience, that's even better. That you've got good attention to detail, that you're easy to work with, and that you're reliable. These are great skills that they are looking for. And in the future, you might talk about you're looking to gain additional qualifications, maybe management qualifications over a long time, that you could hopefully build a career at Farm Foods. That's a great phrase to use in the interview. That you love working with customers, you like working with people, you don't want to be sat in an office on your own all the time. You want collaboration, you want lots and lots of new people coming through. And then if you are interested and ambitious, you could say that once you're fully established in your current role and with a proven track record of success in that role, that gradually over time you'd be really interested, when appropriate, to take on additional responsibility and grow with the Farm Foods business. So that's a great thing to say in the interview. So have this one planned out, ready to go, and you'll do really well on this question. And if you do really well on this and they ask at the start, you can start with a really strong first impression. Then they might ask about what times can you work. Some key things is to say yes as much as possible. Look at the job advert, offer as much as you can, be honest with them. Weekends and evenings are very desirable. So if you're happy to work those times, mention it because that's probably what they have in mind. If you have preferences, basically talk about what you would prefer. Offer as much flexibility as you can, but don't make demands. So if you say, I can only do Wednesdays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, no other time I can do, you're going to be a problem and they're going to hire someone else. If there is on the job advert the specific hours, learn what those hours are and say that I can work those hours. They put them on the job advert for a reason. And a good phrase to use if you can and have a lot of flexibility is to say that you can offer flexibility around the full range of store opening hours. So if you're very flexible, just say that last phrase and you'll have a great answer and they'll be happy with that. That's really fundamentally what they want to hear, that you're flexible and you can work the full range of store opening hours is the perfect answer if you can give it. Then before we get to the end of the video, we need to look at what you're going to ask them at the end. So they will say, do you have any questions? And no is a bad answer. You've got to have at least 3 questions ready to go, and I'll give you some suggestions. So you could say, what attracted you to join Farm Foods? And they'll tell you what they like about the company, and you can share in that enthusiasm. You could ask what training and progression is available in this role at Farm Foods, make some commitments to your own development and show that you really care about it. You could ask what's the best part of working for Farm Foods and share in their enthusiasm. You could say, what are your store improvement priorities and how could I contribute to these in this role? So you could say what they're looking to improve, what they're working on, and you can explain how you are the right person to deliver what they're looking for. And then lastly, thank them for the interview. Remind them that you're a firm candidate. Don't ask about holidays. Don't try and negotiate pay at this stage. And finish the interview positively. I hope this was helpful to you. If it was, please like and subscribe. And finally, thank you very much for watching.